to ask you guys, do you think that Gino really loved Jasmine and that Jasmine really loved Gino? Like, from my understanding of their relationship, like Gino stopped sleeping with her and then she wanted to get it elsewhere. She tried to push this open marriage situation onto him. Um, and now we're finding out that she was already seeing Matt before she tried to push the open marriage situation onto Gino. And that led to a lot of mess. Him exposing that led to hell pretty much between the two of them. And I really want to get you guys' take overall, because a lot of people accuse Jasmine of using him for a green card. But listen, wasn't she out here sucking his toe? Wasn't she out here proclaiming that she likes her men kind of ugly? All that kind of stuff. Like, I think she really was into him. And, in a relationship, in a marriage, if one person is just not interested in like the physical side or whatever, like I could see why that would be really exhausting to the other partner. I don't think it's an excuse for cheating, but that's why I understood when she wanted to open the marriage. But now finding out that she potentially had lied about opening the marriage and that she was already cheating and was using that as a cover, like that's quite upsetting to hear. So let's get into that in particular. Okay. So Gino blew the lid off on it all over on his Instagram account, right? So he posted some photos with some timestamps on it to show that Jasmine and Matt had been spotted at Disneyland before Jasmine came to him with the open relationship request, right? And so you see the timestamps that it was from January 2024. And it says this is 2.5 months before the last resort and the open marriage date. So she basically had already been seeing Matt. We don't know how long she had been seeing Matt at this point already, but it proves that there was something going on over there. But I think that Jasmine has long maintained that she and Matt were friends. And I think she could very easily say that friends can go to things like that together, right? They can go to Disney World and whatnot. Like, maybe some of you guys have gone to Disney World with your opposite sex friends or whatever, So I don't know that has the effect that Gino wants for it to have personally. I'm not saying I don't believe him. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, but I'm just saying, and we already know how Jasmine claps back to that. So she clapped back with this photo. And I'm sorry, but it tickled me. It tickled me a lot. So she posted a picture, an AI photo of like a rat with a hat. And we know that hat is Gino's hat. It says, this picture is from before the last resort, taken at Disney, cheating on me with Mickey Mouse. Haters are going to say it's AI. Jasmine, I am sorry, but you are absolutely hilarious. That's crazy. Why would you do that man like that, right? And then she went on to take things to a darker place, though, right? So there is going to be a trigger warning here for DV because, again, things got taken to a really, really dark and ugly place, right? So Jasmine followed it up by sharing a series of comments, of musings about people who look for love abroad and how some of them are not really looking for love at all. In fact, they might just be looking for somebody to manipulate. And this is something that you do often see in the Love is not the Love is Blind, but in the 90 Day Fiance community, right? We can't even lie. A lot of these people, they're just looking to exploit poor people. So let's get into what exactly it is that Jasmine had to say. Some people don't look for love abroad. They look for control. Instead of seeking a partner, they seek someone they believe they can feel superior to. It's not romance. It's a superiority complex disguised as a relationship. Listen, she's right. Shout out to the passport bros, right? And I believe that Gino is a passport bro. The moment the person they brought from another country stops being obedient, the manipulation starts. Instead of owning their flaws, they fall back on the tired accusation of, you used me for a green card. It's not truth. It's blackmail. It's easier for them to blame immigration than to admit they failed as a partner and as a human being, right? Listen, I think it's true, but I also do think that sometimes these people coming from overseas are using these people too, right? But here's my thing. They're both being used sometimes. Like, for example, Danielle and Muhammad. Danielle, you knew damn well you were not pulling no Muhammad in the United States and you had to go abroad to find one, because one who already had the papers would not be with you. So you're using him just like he's using you. I'm not going to feel bad for you. Just saying. Next. Boom. See how everyone criticizes me and accuses me of cheating for something my husband agreed to, but when it comes to an American woman doing worse, everyone finds it fine and starts defending them. How do we call it? All because I'm Latina. Mama huevos, pinches culeros. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, girl. So, who is she talking about when she says that the American woman does it worse? I believe she's talking about people on her show, but I don't know who. I don't know if it's what's the name of that girl, Cara, who was accused of cheating on her husband, Guillermo. I'm not sure. Every time there's a Latino person on the show, see how we're treated by the own cast. It doesn't happen when they're Eastern European or from any other part of the world. Look at the current situation in the US. Who is all the hatred directed to? Us, the Hispanic people. And so some people were saying that she might have been referring to Yara here because Yara can be a little bit tough on Jovi. However, in Yara's defense, they look like a couple that you would find like naturally anyway. Like it's not like you're looking at somebody who takes amazing care of themselves and looks a certain way, and then their partner, and you're like, this. It feels like somebody, you know what I mean? Like you don't get that with that relationship. And Yara's also not asking for an open relationship either. So I do think that there is sort of a major difference between the two situations. Although I will not discount, what she's saying about there being xenophobia towards Latino people in the US, especially right now. So she says, think about it. We have a white person with superiority complex yelling at the top of his lungs, get out of my country. I reported you to immigration, blah, 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 and taking zero accountability of the bad husband and person he was. Are people saying anything about it? No, not on the cameras, neither most people watching it. Not even one cast member stepped and said anything about it. Why? Because people find it okay. And I do agree that Gino in general was not a good husband to Jasmine. Gino just didn't seem to want to be intimate with Jasmine. I don't know if he's got a corn addiction or what, but there was something missing there in that relationship. She did bring it up to him several times, and he had no intentions of changing it. So what was she supposed to do at the end of the day, right? Definitely not cheat, of course, but it was obvious that that marriage was just not going to last. And, it would have been the same even if she was an American woman as well. No woman, I think, with a healthy drive is going to be putting up with that. So she says, last night at the mansion, people asking me, did you use Baldy, aka Gino, for a green card? Clown. I didn't hear anyone asking Gino, why did you share Jasmine's nudes and make her lose her job? Great question, right? Why didn't you drive her anywhere or help her get a driver's license? Another great question, because not driving her to do, things that she needs to do to take care of herself. Like, for example, she wanted to go to the gym and all types of things. That is very, very neglectful, especially if you're not going to be allowing her to get a driver's license. And who are you to even disallow or ban or prohibit an adult from getting a driver's license? That she needs to be independent in such a car reliant city. Very strange, right? Why didn't you include her children in the visa? Another great question. Why did you quit your job without telling Jasmine? Even though you were free 24/7, you still neglected her any kind of help? Another great question. These are great questions that people are not asking him. I think that part of this has to do with xenophobia, and the other part might have to do with misogyny, to be honest with you, right? Because it's nicer to portray the narrative of the poor American being taken advantage of. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. I know a lot of people don't like Jasmine, but she's throwing bars out here. I'm with her 100%. You know what I love about being a Latina? My mom didn't raise a pendeja. I prefer people not liking me because I will always speak my mind with no filters and without giving an ish. All right. So to accompany this rant of hers, Jasmine wrote something in some Spanglish. Okay. She says, born Latina, raised fuerte y unstoppable en todo lo que hago. So born Latina, raised strong and unstoppable in all that I do. I carry the fire of my ancestors, the resilience of my abuelas y la pasión de mi cultura in every step I take. The resilience of my foremothers and the passion of my culture in every step I take. I don't shrink for anyone. I don't apologize for my dreams. Y cada reto solo me hace más poderosa. What is a reto? That I don't know, you guys, but every, setback only makes me more powerful. I am fuerza. I am strong. I am orgullo. I am proud, and I am unapologetically me. So good for her. Listen, I feel her. I'm with Jasmine 100%. Was she a perfect wife? I don't think so. Right. But was Gino a perfect husband? No, he wasn't either. Yet only one of them gets picked apart, and it's not Gino. Makes you wonder what's going on. Let me get into some of the comments that y'all left a little bit earlier about this. KK had said, I love that Jasmine said, Gino needs to know I'm not the same person that couldn't control my emotions, proceeds to take off her underoos and dump a drink in his suitcase. One thing about Jasmine is she is absolutely fiery. And, it really goes to show, girl, you do not know what you're talking about. You still are that same person who cannot control your emotions. Ramsher says, Gino and Jasmine, the man with the weird hair on the back of his head. Remember when she took off his hat when she was pissed at him for sharing her nudes? That was hilarious. And the woman whose voice makes you want to pull out your hair. Damn. So it's safe to say that you do not like either of them, Ramster, if I am not mistaken. Womp, womp, womp. Let's see what else y'all have to say. So those were the comments that came in at the top of the episode. I want to get into the comments that you guys are leaving fresh here. Let's see. Shelby says, if I'm married, I'm not doing anything solo with the opposite ex out of respect. And I can agree with that too. I agree with that. And I feel like I'm similar to that. I wouldn't be doing that either. I think it's just like a weird vibe. Especially if your friend looks better than your man. We all have eyes. We could all see her friend look better than her man. You cannot be going around with that guy to things like Disneyland. It's looking like a date, right? It's just not a good look at all. Good morning, Caramel. Good morning, Shar. Nice to see you. Ramster says they are both morons, but Matt was blowing her back out before the open marriage saga. Damn. And I agree. I do believe that that's what was happening in this particular situation. Shelby says, doesn't even have to be married. I'm not disrespecting my partner by hanging out alone with the opposite ex, period. Listen, I like your style. Good morning, Ali. Ramster says, Jasmine even kisses her dogs behind. She will suck anything without a thought. Yuck! Oh my God. I didn't know she was doing that. That's nasty. Why was she doing that? What would be the purpose of doing that, right? And I agree, Ali. Hey, Flower Love, Gino is definitely a passport. Exactly. He has to own it. And passport bros, they're not looking to help their girlfriends or their wives live better lives. They're not. They're looking to find vulnerable women and girls, because sometimes these men are going for little girls, like that American guy who has that teenager from Colombia, Jasmine and Luke or something like that. Madeline and Luke, like, some of these guys are total creeps too. So I don't think that they're these big victims who are being manipulated by these ladies who are just struggling to survive more often than not. There's a reason they're going for those women in particular. Let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it real. Ramster says, mind you, it's Gino's own fault. All of it. It's what you get when you go for a sugar baby. And exactly, that's where he found her. The whole purpose of a sugar baby relationship is to use each other. The older person is supposed to be using the other person to siphon their youth and their good looks. And the younger person is supposed to be using the older person for money, access, all those sorts of things. So it's a wash. That is the whole basis of this relationship and this marriage. There is no victim here. When he says maybe it's Big Ange all on her back. Oh, and yeah, that's true. But Big Ange got dragged. She was abusing that man. I am so happy that Michael got away and he is safe now, because that woman is scary. Like, I imagine that she was probably beating him behind the scenes. She is terrifying. Kiki says, I think Gino gets off on controlling women, wanting them to be pretty for his ego. This isn't the first time he searched for a poor Hispanic overseas woman. He admitted that. Exactly. Gino is no victim. I'm sorry. Y'all are not about to make me feel bad for a passport, bro. It's not happening in this lifetime at all. And by the way, you guys, thanks so much for sending in the B-Day love for our girl, Shem Gem. It's so cool that she's got her birthday today. She is a November 19 Scorpio. She almost missed the cutoff. Phew, you made it. Thank God. Again, I really, really hope that you have a fantastic 32nd birthday, Shem Gem. Cheers to you. I'm going to catch back up with some of you guys. KK says it's also entirely possible that he's not attracted to women at all. I mean, you know what? Maybe that would explain why he's not banging them. I don't think he was banging the other one either. Like, he was acting like he's never even touched a woman's kneecap in his life, or maybe it disgusts him, the thought of touching a woman's kneecap or earlobe or something like that, like, that's a possibility. Shem says, I've been so confused about Jasmine and Gino for a hot minute. Yeah, that relationship was, listen, I really, really do think that she left him. I really do. But I think they both had their own demons. Maybe there's a lot of resentment because, again, Gino purposely left her children off of the visa thing. And she gets the heat for that, which is crazy to me. I still think it's crazy that she went to the US without her kids, but it is possible that she thought that, like, by being there, it would, like, help speed up the process, blah, blah. But unfortunately, it's been several years now and they're still all the way back there. Now she's got her daughter, Matilda, in the US. And so, she can't just leave with Matilda and go back to see her other kids because Matt wouldn't be allowing that, obviously, and as he shouldn't. So it's just like a big mess all around. And exactly, two snaps. No relationship works if the people aren't genuine. Like the true intentions are always going to come out, and there's not a strong enough foundation, right? Or sense of love or anything like that to make that actually um, work in the long run to survive all the highs and lows of a relationship. The highs and lows of a relationship are already difficult enough to get through in a regular, loving, authentic relationship. But if you're just faking the funk, it's like, listen, I'm not faking this anymore. I got other things to do, right? Shem says, I'm going to be playing a video game for at least 4 hours. I have dinner plans tonight, and I just picked up my vegan Oh, you were talking about that tiramisu cake. I love that. Yes. Well, good for you, Shem Jam. You got to pass that B-day any way you want. And I love that you're doing it exactly your way. And please come back tomorrow and tell us how your dinner was. Yes. Anytime. Becky says, I only watched a couple of seasons and had to stop because there was just too much. She's crazy, but she speaks some truth in her bat-ish crazy moments. And I agree, right? I agree. Just like that monologue that she just delivered on Instagram, I think she was 1,000% right in everything she said about Gino and about a lot of these passport bros who purposely look for struggling women in the developing world to date and to marry. And you know what? And a lot of people, even in the comment section, what's so crazy to me, Ramsar, is people will be dragging her constantly, like, oh, she's so terrible to him. She's this, she's that. Guys, she's only 18 years old and he's in his 30s. What is a man in his 30s doing with an 18-year-old? And mind you, they've been dating for a while. So how old was she when she started dating him? Underage. So why are we dragging somebody who was preyed upon by a man, a full-blown man, in a country where he makes a lot of money as an engineer and whatnot, and he went out of his way to go and seek out a poor little teenage girl who's not even a woman? Why are people dragging her? This is the misogyny that I keep talking about in the reality TV universe. Like they always attack the women, even though they're the victims in these situations. Madeline is a victim of Luke. Luke is not a victim of Madeline. Please, come on, y'all. Come on. And that's the other thing. A lot of these sugar daddy relationships and this and that, the men are lying about even having money. Great question, Two Snaps. Does Gino have money, sugar? No, not really. Didn't you see him shopping at the thrift shop? He was trying to find like a new wardrobe to impress the ladies, but he doesn't have much money, so he was shopping at the thrift shop. So why are you on a sugar daddy website? Why are you on a sugar? It reminds me of the other one. Oh my God, guys, I used to get D threats because I always supported Anfisa over Jorge. Because Jorge was a liar. Similar thing. Oh, I'm so rich. I'll take care of you in America. She comes all of a sudden. Oh, I don't have the money. I don't have this. You only love me for my money. Meanwhile, you're like 300 pounds and you want to be with like the thinnest woman you can find with all the plastic, this and that. Would you be with her if she were your size? No, you wouldn't. So stop with this. Oh, I'm such a victim. No, these guys are master manipulators. Stop it. Ali says, Big Ange, always on TikTok live. I had to block her due to the jump scares. Is she still using those vicious filters? She uses these filters that make her look like AI, and it's really, really creepy. There was another user on TikTok. She was on one of those Netflix shows, and anytime she posts a video of her on TikTok, it's that I think it's called Bold Glamour, and it was so creepy to me. I liked what she said, but I didn't like the filter situation. It was very strange, so I had to block her too. I don't like that. Well, Whitney, that's a great question. That's a great question. If you're not going to be, why can't she just be ugly then? Go get yourself a nice ugly one. Why does she have to be so beautiful? A mess. And thank you so much, LaDonna. Happy birthday to all the Scorpios. Oh, that's your birthday. Well, happy belated birthday to you, LaDonna, my Scorpio sister. Ramster says Jasmine leaving her two sons behind in Panama and now having a baby in the US. That's the part I don't get. Exactly. That is very, very, very strange to me. It really is. I don't know how she did it, to be honest with you. But at the same time, maybe she was naive. Maybe she thought that going to the US would help speed up the process or would force Gino to do it. But now she's in a situation where it's just never happening, or most likely never happening. And now she's anchored to the US through her daughter. And I don't think she'll ever live with her sons again throughout their childhood, which is really sad. And no, it's awesome. Not at all. And like I always say, listen, those guys are the ones who judge women's weight the worst. Like I have never seen a group that is more eagle-eyed about how much women weigh than overweight men, and it drives me nuts. It really does. That's in my experience in real life anyway. Sometimes the things they say, you're like, Really? Did you see that thing? Speaking of, did you see Donald Trump? He had the audacity to call this reporter Miss Piggy. He said quiet piggy or something like that. Why would you say that, Donald Trump? Like, where's your six packs? Please, 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 please. So, Rapture says, like MTV, TLC makes all these situations happen and scripts a lot of the mess. And I can agree with that too, right? Listen, oh, speaking of, I want to get into that recent episode of 90 Day Fiance the other way. I got to watch that actually tonight so I could talk about it with you tomorrow. Good morning, Natalie. Nice to see you. Be wise. Happy belated birthday. I hope you had a happy birthday. Where were you? Why didn't you pop up with us? Well, you know what? You were probably out enjoying your B-Day. What did you get up to for your B-Day? Happy belated, you guys. Oh my God, there's so many November Scorpios in here. I absolutely love it. Shem says, I don't understand why Jasmine had another baby either. Exactly. It makes it impossible to be able to go back for your sons. I think that Jasmine should have went home after her marriage with Gino didn't work out. Listen, Panama is a beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, you guys, let's spread some birthday love for Be Wise as well. Be Wise, I'll be playing your song too soon. Panama is a beautiful country. There are a lot of Americans escaping America to go live in Panama. You know, like she lived a nice life there from what I saw when I was watching her over there. So I don't understand why she thought staying in America, especially with the America of today, is better than being at home with your kids in Panama where you're living perfectly well. She's had men taking care of her for a really long time. So what is it, right? Oh, huh? Oh my God, I thought you guys said it was Jenna's birthday today. Okay, well, happy non-birthday. No, I'm joking. Well, happy early birthday to you then, Jenna. My bad. Two Snap says, Grace, I am a Sagittarius, December 4th, same date as Jay-Z. I love that. Happy early birthday, Sag. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know. Again, we saw Jasmine's life in Panama. She wasn't living like bad. Like she had a house and everything. Like, why wouldn't she go back after the marriage didn't work out, you know? And then you're talking about how, like, you know, in the US, like there's a lot going on, you know, facing, you know, Latinos in particular and whatnot. You would think that that would even motivate her even more to be back home with her kids. I don't know. Something about that was just really strange to me. I feel like if I were in her situation, I would have gone back home to be with my kids personally. Just saying. Becky says, but why is he still? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Oh, Lord. I've been hoodwinked, but it's okay. We do have Be Wise to wish a happy birthday before we head out today. Exactly. She had a career, a nice life. So why leave your kids behind? What's your excuse? Because some of these people, they're fleeing like war-torn countries, famine, all these things. Like they're really struggling. Like, you know, some of these ladies in the Philippines, when we see them in the Philippines, you know, they're bathing alongside rats. Like, remember that guy who was deaf and his fiance, she was also deaf in 1 year or something like that. They were bathing beside rats. Wasn't same thing with Big Ed and Rose. Those ones, okay, go fight do whatever you have to do, you know. But in Jasmine's case, she had a perfectly fine life. So it's very, very strange. Very strange. Bonsoir, Millie. How are you doing? Millie, are you the one living in Kenya? Nice to see you. How are things going in Kenya? I'm really, really trying to go as soon as possible. I think I might go, hopefully, like next year or something like that. That's like my goal. I really want to go back to Africa, y'all. I've been trying to go to Morocco, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia, something like that. Maybe she can let go of the 90 day. Yeah, maybe that's it. But the money is still around online, right? Like, Rose, for example, we were just talking about her. Rose from 90 Day Fiance. She's still in the Philippines, but now she's making that good money. Making good money in the Philippines is better than making good money in the US, right? Like, because in the Philippines, your money goes a lot further than it does in the US. So now she is living a large over there, right? Whereas in the US, she would still be living like a mid to poor life with the same amount of money, right? Just saying. Two snaps. Oh, you guys are so lovely, at least from what I'm seeing over here. That's me. Oh, it is. Okay, well, there you go, Millie. Well, I hope things are going well over there. I'm so jealous of the weather right about now, especially sunk false fallacy. She's in, yeah, I think so too, which is really sad. Listen, there's nothing wrong with admitting, you know, you miscalculated something, right? Just saying. Good morning, Paula. Thanks for becoming a member of my channel. I just posted some new videos this week, so hopefully you get to enjoy them. Listen, guys, I guess I gotta head out from today's episode of the show. Once again, happy birthday to Shemjem. I hope you have a great day celebrating your 32nd birthday. And we did also have another birthday. Be Wise, our boo, is also she was celebrating her birthday just 3 days ago on November 16th. So I'm gonna be rolling out with some happy birthday music for Be Wise as well. Please make sure to wish her a happy birthday. And if you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you had a good time, okay? See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk more about the day's hottest stories. Bye, guys.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy